All right, George. So we are back here at Winter Third. It's been a while since we've done a video with this apiary. Can you tell us, before we get into the mite stuff, can you give us a quick update on how this has been going?
Yeah, Dave, it's the third week of May. As you can see, it's beautiful out. You know, we haven't had a lot of nice weather May. It's been a sort of a rainy, sort of cloudy month, but out here at the Winterthur Apiary, it's awesome. We have 10 one queen keeper hives behind me now. Remember, all 8 survived the winter, and
Or
we
all?
added 2 more.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're up to 10 hives, Dave.
There we go.
And I'm happy to say that none of these hives have swarmed yet. So with the demery, we've been able to stop them from swarming. And with the sun today, it should be an awesome forage day for lots of honey.
And we're also pretty happy that we're not lifting boxes out here because it's like 85 degrees already.
Yeah, it's warm today, Dave. So anytime you get to sit and anytime you get to not lift, it's a good day at the apiary, Dave. So I'm all excited about that today.
Cool. So tell us about the keeper's hive and mites, how to manage it.
Well, Dave, as you and all the beekeepers out there know, the biggest threat to your colony survival and your colony health is your mite levels, right? So every hive has mites. You can't go anywhere pretty much in the world now. Even Australia, they have mites. So everywhere in the world, no matter where you are, you probably have mites in your hive. And the mites carry viruses, and the viruses kill the bees. So you have to have a strategy or a management on how you're going to manage your mites, Dave.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the treatment options with the keeper's hive.
Yeah, Dave. So I'm not going to go into the weeds about whether or not you should measure mites or you shouldn't measure mites or you should treat or you shouldn't treat. That could be a discussion that we sit here for hours and have. But best management practices suggest that you measure mites and treat if the levels are high. So a high level would be over 2% or 6 mites in a 300 mite wash. So when your level gets that high, you really should do some sort of intervention to lower the level. So now with the keeper's hive, all mite treatments work because we know in some hives, because of the hive design, you're unable to apply different mite treatments. So let's quickly go over how you'd put the different treatments on depending what you use. So the first thing that some people do is the oxalic vaporization, Dave. And since the keeper's hive uses a standard 10 frame bottom board, you can put your vaporization right through the front, or you can drill a hole in the back and put it through that way. So however you're currently doing your oxalic vaporizations work for the keeper's hive. The second treatment that people generally like to do is formic acid. So formic acid is either Mite Away Quick Strips or Formic Pro, at least in the States. There may be some other options worldwide, but they're the two I'm familiar with. In order to do the formic acid, they come in pads, Dave. So there's pads. I generally like to do 2 pads for 10 days or 2 weeks. So some people will do a pad and then 2 weeks later we'll do another pad. I like to do 2 pads. There's a little bit of a little things that you need to know if you're going to use formic acid in the keeper's hive. One is you'll put your pads right on top here. But the important thing is you're not going to put your observation window back on. You're just going to put your roof on. So when you use formic acid, you'll leave your frame protectors in, but you'll take your window off. And that gives a little bit of headspace for that formic acid to sort of not become too toxic on the brood below it. So that you have to remember. Basically 10 days or 2 weeks later, you'll take the formic off, put back on your observation window, and you're good to go. Just like any hive that you put formic acid on. When you put formic acid on, you want to make sure you take your mouse guard off, and you also, if you're running a screen bottom board, you want to make sure you put your whiteboard in there. So that's formic acid. The other thing that people use is Apogard or Thymol. And Thymol is pretty much applied the same way that formic acid is in the keeper's hive. Basically, just open the observation roof, open the hinge roof, take off the observation panel, and you're going to put your little card right here. You're going to apply your formic on top of it, whatever amount, whether or not you're going to use 25 or 50 or somewhere in between. And all you're going to do basically is you're going to, again, leave the observation window off while you're using a thymol Apogard type product. Okay, so that covers thymol. The other treatments you can use are Apivar strips, which is amitraz. So with amitraz, just like you do in any hive, you would basically put 2 strips, you would get a nail or a toothpick, and you'd hang the Apivar strips between the brood frames. So there's 8 brood frames in the keeper's hive, so you would put 2 amitraz strips hanging down, and you would apply that for 6 weeks. And that's really simple too. The thing to remember with all these treatments and using a keeper's hive, the keeper's hive is essentially a single box brood chamber, Dave. So you're going to spend less money on your treatments. Your treatments are going to be more effective with using the keeper's hive than a standard double or triple brood box hive, typical Langstroth. So,
and that's because it's just more concentrated?
You basically want to treat where the brood and the nurse bees are, so they're in one box, and maybe the concentration of the treatment is located where you need the treatment to be located, and it's just more effective that way.
I see.
So we really have great success at using all the treatments available in the keeper's hive, unlike some of the horizontal hives or some of the other hive designs that limit your use of either formic or Apogard. With any miticide, you can use it in the keeper's hive.
Cool.
And the other thing to remember, Dave, you could do it while sitting down.
Yes.
So you can open up your hive, put in your treatment, sit down, and have a great day.
Right. So mite management is basically a no-lift thing now with the keeper's hive.
Yeah, mite management is single brood chamber, no lift with the keeper's hive. And your mite checks are seated, simple. So it really, one of the important things of colony management, Dave, is mite management, and the keeper's hive just makes it easier, more fun, and just more effective.
Cool. Thanks, George.
Yep.